Hi folks, it's Yvonne with Grandma Means Business. Welcome back. Today's day 2 of our Vision Board Creation Class Facebook Challenge. And I'm so glad that you're here. So yesterday, just to review, we talked about gathering our supplies and what we're going to need to put a vision board together, and selecting our photos and which ones to pick and which ones to put in our maybe file, and that our vision board is a snapshot of our future. So it's something that, just like you have snapshots of your past, this is a snapshot of your future. So put anything into it that you want to have in your future that excites you, that really revs you up. Okay, so today, what we're going to talk about is, well, I've had a lot of questions about what exactly should go on your vision board, because, I mean, some people don't really have a plan, they don't have a vision, they don't have a dream, which is, I don't know, for those of us who are here, probably it's none of you who are here, because we're already looking to create our vision board, and we probably already have a vision, we already have a dream, but some people don't. And it's important to know, though, that even the Bible says that where there is no vision, the people perish. Yikes. Okay, so yeah, you got to have a vision, you got to have a dream, you got to have a goal, something to work toward. Okay, so it's really important. So because of that, because of the questions about, I've had lots of questions about trying to figure out exactly what should go on my vision board. I can't think of anything. I don't know what goes there. I don't know what to put on there. Okay, so I have an action step for you to do today that may take you a couple of days. I don't know. It took me, I think, 3 or 4 days to accomplish it. But what I want you to do is to take a pen and paper and create a list of 101 things that you would like to do, have, or be. Do, have, or be. Okay? So, well, I'll give you some examples in a minute. But when you're thinking about this, there are lots of examples on the internet. I looked up and Googled bucket list, and there are quite a few people who have put their bucket list on the internet. So you could just Google bucket list. And a couple other things to Google that I found that were kind of interesting were 100 ideas to add to your bucket list. No, that was 1,000. 1,000 ideas to add to your bucket list. Somebody actually took a lot of time to write that down, and I didn't see too many repeats, but I did see a couple. And another one was bucketlistjourney.net, and he actually has a blog, that person, bucketlistjourney.net, and he has a list of 1,000 ideas also for your bucket list. Okay, so when you're creating this list, think about things like, for example, again, we talked about yesterday, what kind of a house do you want to live in? What kind of a car do you want to drive? Now, it's important when you're figuring these things out and you're writing them down on your bucket list, not to be realistic. If you think of that 5,000 square foot house with a 5-car garage and a swimming pool, and you think, oh, how would I ever be able to get something like that? That's being unrealistic. Don't go there. Stop it. That killjoy in your head, get rid of him. Kick him out. Because that is not something you're supposed to be thinking about while you're creating your vision board. When you're creating your vision board, you're going to be thinking over the top. I'm giving you permission to dream, and to dream big. You do not have to stop. Imagine that you had unlimited time, money, and resources. So whatever you wanted to do, you would automatically have the time, the money, and the resources to get it done. I liked this little exercise when I was thinking about that. Imagine that every day, whatever you spent from your checkbook, say you spent $1,000, at midnight that night, double that amount is deposited into your account. Wouldn't that be fun? So the more you spent, the more you'd have the next day, and you would never run out. You would always have more. Your checking account balance would always be higher than it was the day before. It could never be less. Isn't that fun to think about? But I mean, if you have that in the back of your head, then you can dream big about what you want to do. And you can accomplish more than just things for yourself and your family. Because, I mean, that's where most of us would start. Well, you know, I'm going to do this for my kids and this for my husband and my wife, and I would do this for my grandkids. And of course, you know, that's where I started with Grandma Means Business. I started with my grandkids on my list. But you can move beyond that. Once you have all the things straightened out in your bucket list of the things you want to do for yourself and your family and your close relatives, well, then you can think bigger. You can think outside your circle, outside your little circle, because remember, you have unlimited time, resources, and money. So you could go build an orphanage somewhere, either in this country or another country. You could make sure that some people in a village that have filthy water could have a well drilled and have fresh, clean water. You could build homes for people. You could, you know, just imagine big, much bigger than you're probably thinking. You could just do an enormous amount of things. I mean, I also was listening the other day to someone who the important charity that they work with is helping to bring home children who are abducted, because I wasn't aware, but there is an enormous number of children being abducted in the United States of America, and these kids are being taken to other countries. I wasn't aware that was even happening, and it just broke my heart to think about that. But there is an organization that he works with to find these kids and to bring them back home, and they need the funds to do it. So just think, you could help with that if that was something that really touched your heart and you wanted to do. You could just do so many things. It's just unbelievable. So anyway, don't limit yourself. Some people like to think about what they wanted to do when they were a kid. Now, I've tried this exercise myself, and I can't even, I don't know. I don't have anything in my head that I wanted to do when I was a kid. It doesn't work for me. But maybe you do. Maybe you always said, oh, when I grow up, I want to be go with it. Write that down. If you're there already, terrific. You know, move on from there. But if you're not there, put that on your list. You can work with that, because you know what you wanted to be when you were a kid is kind of important. Let's see. 2 books. I wanted to tell you about 2 books that I would highly recommend, and one of them, I know it's backward for you, I apologize, but it's Dream It, Pin It, Live It by Terry Savelle Foy, and it's a really good book on vision boards and creating. She calls them dream boards, vision boards, kind of the same thing. But she also wrote a book that says, Make Your Dreams Bigger Than Your Memories. Remember we talked about yesterday how the snapshot was your memory from your past, but your vision board is your photo, your snapshot from your future? Well, she's saying make that snapshot from your future bigger and more important than the one from your past. Isn't that kind of cool? I like that book. Okay, two books to read. Okay, if you don't know where you're headed, any road will take you there. I don't know who the author is. I apologize. It says unknown. But if you don't know where you're headed, any road will take you there. So kind of the vision board is like helping you to clarify where you're headed. Because if you don't know where you're headed, any road will take you there. But creating your vision board is not about figuring out how you're going to get there. Creating your vision board is just clarifying where you're headed. Okay, so this is step number 1. Knowing where you're headed is creating your vision board. And like I said, if it's not clear in your head, start doing some of those exercises. Do that list, and also read other people's bucket lists, and just let your imagination soar big about where you want to go and what you want to do and what you want to accomplish. And then, you know, it's a whole other course, is getting there once you have your vision board created. But that's not what this 5-day challenge is about. This is just about creating your vision board and knowing where you're headed. Okay, I think that's it. That's all my notes. So your action step for today, day day number 2 of our Facebook challenge is to create a list of 101 things that you would like to do, have, or be. Okay? That's your action step, and I will see you tomorrow. And I think for tomorrow I have some great stories about people who have created their vision boards and the outcome. All right, that's it for today. I'll see you tomorrow.